So those conferences won't happen if we don't have major supporter, and the Udemba group is a major supporter of the conference, and we are very honored by that support. And I would like to invite now the founder, chairman, and president of the Udemba group, Mr. Uzo Udemba.
Your Excellencies, distinguished senators and House of Reps members, honorable ministers, good afternoon, everyone. I've been told I have to speak for 2 minutes, and I'm going to stick to the 2 minutes. I'm supposed to talk to you about a private sector project. The Vice President, the ministers, they've all given you the clear picture of the situation in Nigeria today. A whole lot has happened in the past 4 years in repositioning the country, building the infrastructure, and the private sector has never had the opportunity they have now to bring in their friends, their fellow businessmen from outside of Nigeria. My project, our most recent project, is in the area of intellectual capital. The ministers have told you about opportunities in the waterways, in the aviation, in the works and housing, road transport, and so on and so forth. But what they've not told you is the huge opportunity that Nigeria presents in the intellectual capital, human capacity. 60% of Nigerians are 20 years and below, and that is huge. In the next 50 years, Nigeria can supply the whole of Europe their manpower needs. What is needed today in Nigeria is to build infrastructure that would harness the talents that abound. So the Trade Media City is a city designed like no other one. It's a city, it will be the world's first carbon neutral city. It's going to be a small city, a private sector thing, but it will house the most intelligent Nigerians. It's intellectual capital that creates wealth, not oil. Quest to 2020 is realizable. But I'll tell you, what will lead us there is not oil and gas, it's intellectual capital. I was once hosted by a company that paid $180 billion in tax to a government. 180 billion tax in 1 year. And I did a quick calculation to what percentage of our country GDP that $180 billion represent. And that's huge, significant. Can you imagine Nigeria hosting 10 of those companies? Nigeria building the infrastructure that can host people that would think about products and services that can become products that can be sold and realize wealth and pay tax to the government of Nigeria. So this is what Trade Media City is all about. Now let me tell you a little bit of the different aspects of the project. The project is split into two: the capacity building and then the infrastructure side. I will expect every investor in this room to think very seriously about investing in developing the intellectual capital in Nigeria. It's far more bigger than oil and gas. Now, our first phase will address 5 key areas. It will address the film and entertainment sector. We are bringing to Africa for the first time a world-class film academy that will train film professionals. And this project will start in July this year, by the way. We are partnering with one of the biggest and best film colleges in the world. And this project is completely funded by the private sector, 100%. And this is meant to produce 1,000 film professionals in the next 5 years. And what film professionals do in Hollywood, what they do in Bollywood, will give you an idea what kind of wealth these people can create. We're also developing capacity in the area of science and technology. Now, we are building an accelerator center. Oftentimes, you find young engineers with first-class degree selling recharge cards, doing a barbering salon. These human beings can create wealth that oil and gas will not give. The accelerator center would build the infrastructure to have this kind of people in a place where they're encouraged and they're provided all the enabling facilities that will enable them to think creatively and turn ideas into products. The third part is the African Diaspora Resource Program, which is meant to document our intellectual resource that is residing outside of Nigeria and work with them and give them a soft landing to come back to Africa. The fourth part of the phase one, which is capacity building, is to do a film fund, a private film fund, a fund set aside by our company for investment in the film and TV industry to develop product ideas and take them out to make movies and television programs. We know what kind of margins that happen. Avatar was $240 million business. That's what it cost to produce it. At the last count, it has made about $3.6 billion. No other kind of business, no other business can have this kind of margins. And so, Nigeria, in every way you look at it, is an investor's heaven. It's a place people are friendly, warm, and it's a country that houses some of the most brilliant people on earth. And most of us are very young. 60% of us 20 years and below. Huge, 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 huge potential for our country. Then the fifth part of the first phase is the capacity training program. It's like a continuing training program for those already in service, either the private sector or the public sector. We provide them modern tools. We walk them through the most capacity-enhancing techniques so that would help them to improve their capacity and their productivity. Now, I'll tell you that in Africa, on the average, we produce only 20% of our capacity. In Europe, depending on the country, if you're in the Scandinavian countries, it's about 80%. In other European countries, the average is about 50–60%. How can we improve capacity for our part of in our part of the world? So these are some of the things that Train Media City project would look at and provide as a private sector thing, completely private sector business. The infrastructure side will commence next year, and we're going to build facilities that can house the creative minds of African ancestry that would want to relocate to Nigeria. and want to stay in a private sector environment. It's going to build also a film production facility that will make movies in the right look and feel, in the highest quality for distribution to all parts of the world. Africa remains the most unexplored place on earth, yet it's a part of the world that has the longest history. It's a part of the world that has the most diversity. It's a part of the world that houses some of the most brilliant people on earth, and yet nothing is known of us. So the production facility at the Trade Media City will make movies that will tell our stories as African people. Now, in that same facility as well, we are going to build also entertainment facilities so that when our creative minds, the most creative minds, come back home, it will not be all work, work, work. It will be work and play as well. I'm told that my time is up, but information on this project is on the brochures out there at our booth, and also you can check us out on the website www.trendmediacity.com www.trendmediacity.com. You can get a whole lot of information, and there is an instant messaging, so we can go on and chat with you online. Thank you for your time, and I wish you joining messages.